Welcome to this tutorial on deconstructing a PubMed record page. The detailed record page represents the article within PubMed, and the information in the record is what PubMed searches to retrieve your results. This tutorial will allow you to read a record with a critical eye to determine if an article is useful for your research purposes, to identify clues within the record for revising a search, and provide options for obtaining the full text of an article. View the record page by clicking on the title within the results. If the article is one of the mesh publication types, it will be highlighted in blue at the top for quick identification. Next, we have information about the journal. The journal title is often abbreviated. If you click on the abbreviation, you can search in the NLM catalog to decipher the full name of the title. It would not be too hard to guess for this particular title, but it's not always easy, and you'll need this information to search Library Journal Finder for full text. And you may need it when you're creating your citations. Below the title, we'll find the author or researcher's names. Learn where your authors are affiliated by using the expand to see where the research was conducted. This can be particularly useful if you need studies conducted in the US or North America to compare similar clinical practice. Next comes the abstract, a descriptive paragraph summarizing the article. This varies in detail depending on the type of article. This is a case series. If the article had been of an empirical nature, you would see the key details in the introduction, the methods, the results, and conclusion sections. This can help you determine if the article is useful for your research and if it's worth obtaining the full text. Below the abstract, you'll find author-supplied keywords. The author supplies these to facilitate retrieving their article in PubMed, but it's also useful for providing clues to search terms that might be useful in revising your search. Below the keywords, we'll find the conflict of interest statement. This is provided to alert you to any known relationship in the research study that has the potential to infiltrate the study with bias. This statement indicates a potential. It does not indicate corruption. It is about upfront transparency. It's important to know if someone has a particular stake in the outcome of a particular study. Beware that not every article will have a conflict of interest statement. Below, you'll find a figures area, and not every article will have a figures area, but this will provide you with the supplemental material that you might have found within the actual PDF or print article. By now, you're anxious to get to the full text. To find the full text, utilize the links in the upper right-hand page. BMJ has made this article available for free, and a copy has been placed in PubMed Central. Therefore, both of these links will lead you to the full text. This is what it looks like linking out through PubMed Central, and you can link out to the PDF. Here's how it looks when you access through the publisher website, BMJ. And from here you can access the PDF. Not every publisher link will link you to a free version of the full text. For example, using the directional arrows, we can navigate to the next article from any record page. This article indicates full text from the publisher Wiley. This is what happens when I click on the link. When I follow the link to the PDF full text, I hit a paywall, and it asks me to pay for the article. Here's where the MU community must take the initiative and check the library's holdings for full text. A quick and easy way to check the library holdings is to start by copying the title on the record page. Then access the library homepage. Make sure the OneSearch tab is activated. Paste in your title and run your search. Within your OneSearch result set, verify that the citation you want is correct, and then follow the full text online link. When you're taken to the Wiley Publisher page, click on the PDF. And now you're granted full text of the article. How simple is that? Certainly worth the extra step. Let's examine another scenario. Moving on to the next article. This time we'll use the digital object identifier, the unique identifier for that article. Paste into the OneSearch box. And when we ran our search, we don't have access to the full text in our library holdings. Take an extra step and add the results beyond the library holdings. This time the article appears, and when you follow the citation online, it takes you to a page that denies you access, but it gives you quick access to the interlibrary loan service, TPASA. Follow the link to TPASA, and you'll find your form is already populated, making it very easy to just simply submit your request. Finally, we'll examine a third article to look at using Journal Finder to access your full text. To use Journal Finder, you'll need the complete citation information, which is contained within the top of the record. I've already showed you how to use the NLM catalog to learn the full name of a journal title. But here's another tip. You can also use the Cite feature. This defaults to AMA, and AMA doesn't give us the complete title spelled out. But if I change this to APA, you can see that APA style requires that the full journal title be written out. So I can use that to search Journal Finder. I can also copy the complete citation information so I'll have it when I need it. Back at the library homepage, I want to make sure Journal Finder is selected, and I will paste the title of the journal in. Scrolling down after running my search, I can see that we have full text to this journal to the present in this database. Follow the link to the database. And this is in Science Direct, which individually brings up the journal. This will look different depending on the journal. I can access all issues, and then I can use my citation information to drill down to the volume and issue that I need. Scrolling to page 112, I can find the article that I need. Recapping the ways you can check the library holdings to access your full text, search OneSearch using the title or the DOI. If you get no results, you can check outside the library's holdings and use interlibrary loan. You can also check Journal Finder and follow the links to the article if available. We've explored the top half of our record page. If we scroll down further, we can find the page navigation area, which will take us to the different points within the record. We haven't looked at the Similar Articles section yet. Here we can see articles that are related to the type of search that we've run. So these are just suggested articles based on the search terms that you put in. But if you scroll down further to the cited by area, you'll find articles that referenced this article in their literature reviews as they did their research. This is a way of seeing how the scholarly conversation is being carried forward. Scrolling down further, we can see the references of this particular article. So this part of the conversation was prior to this article, and it's the basis upon which the new research study was done. Scrolling further, we get to the MESH terms. If you recall, MESH is the subject headings index of the National Library of Medicine. Automatic term mapping goes far to helping us find the appropriate MESH term. But as we've seen, it doesn't always get it 100% correct. Looking at the mesh terms within an article that is on point to what you're looking for is another way to flesh out the mesh terms. The asterisk indicates that it was a primary subject heading on this particular article. If I expand, I can search PubMed directly just on the subject heading. I can add it to a search, so it tacks it onto your search string. But I can also search in mesh to get a better understanding of where that heading falls and what it means. You'll want to watch the tutorial on understanding and using the mesh headings. The link out to more resources just mimics what we saw in the upper right-hand corner of the page to accessing those full text sources. And wrapping up our exploration of the detailed record page, I just want to remind you that if you're sharing an article, to be certain and use that permalink instead of the link in your browser to make sure we can get back to it. If you have any questions about using the record page, please reach out to your librarian.